Now we start to talk about join tables. Join table is in general more useful than union or other intersect or minus. The reason is join actually put the tables or relations of different structures together. The fact that you can do union or intersect or except means they have some kind of common structure, and they are probably of similar sources. This is of course still useful, but this scenario, there's much scenario of these cases. Instead, join put the tables from different sources, of different nature together, which in reality is more useful. That's why join is more important. And I would say if there's only one concept you need to take away from SQL, that's one technique you need to take away for SQL is join. So horizontal blending means, or join means you are putting two different data sets together and form a new one. And this is a very important concept. We'll come back to this later on. As we said, one idea you should take away from this intermediate SQL lecture is that everything is a data set, is a relation. Everything is a data set, everything is a relation. The result of a join, the result of set operation, they are all relations. So a lot of times we do need to build relationships between tables. We need to look up a value from another table in order to give more meaning to what we have in the table. For example, we have a course table, and we have instructor names there in the course table. But what if I want to know more about this instructor? I want to see whether this instructor is a Jedi or this. I want to see whether this instructor is a good lightsaber user, or is he more good at like what they call it, the dark electricity, right? So all these may not be in the course table because they belongs to the instructor, and based on what we have learned in third normal form, they should be going to a separate table. And now, after I properly normalize this table, when I need to use, I still need to put them together in order to have a full picture. So what do you do in order to get this information without thinking about SQL or without thinking about join? Let's just imagine what we human beings will do if we want to look up for things like this course name and instructor. What I'm going to do, what everybody will do is just go through again row by row, right? We have already talked about this many times. You will go through each row in one table. For each row in one table, you will go over another table, each row in another table, to find the row with matching values. And here the matching value is the instructor name, because I have instructor name in one table in course table, and I want to look for the information of that instructor in another table. Now here, in another table, there's also instructor name. That's what I can match on. So I'm going to go through each course in the course table. And from that course table, I'm going to take the instructor name, look at it, look at all the instructors in the instructor table. So first row is Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi comparing to the first instructor in instructor table. Oh, this is a match. So this is a match. We get the instructor affiliation. Then I compare the same Obi-Wan Kenobi from the course table. This one, again with a second row in instructor table, which is Darth Sidious. That's not a match. So we are not going to select this one, right? When we have a match, we are going to select the row combination. We will have the instructor name, the course name, the instructor name, and instructor affiliation. This set this one, this row is a match, meets the condition, so we are going to select it. But now this one, instructor to the fourth instruction to the force, its instructor does not match Dacidius. So this is not a match, and we're not going to select it. Now the second one, for the second row in course, we will find the instructor name. Again, it's a Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we are going to go through the 2 rows in instructor again. Find one match, and another is not. And we are going to select this match, this matched record. Then finally, we have this throw choking 101, which has Dacidius as the instructor, and matches this record, not the Obi-Wan Kenobi one, but the Dacidius one. So we have 3 non-match, which will all be ignored. And we have 3 matches, which will be selected as the end of this result, right? The end of this join operation. If you think about SQL result, the end result is equivalent of what? Applying where clause. We try to do a match. If a match, we keep the result, and we will discard those not match, right? Those are not match. So this is exactly a where clause does. It will be, the where clause will be a instructor dot instructor underscore name equals to course dot instructor name, right? This is the comparison condition we try to implement in this join. So for this reason, the way we write the join will be listing 2 table names in the from clause separated by comma, like here, instructor course. 2 tables separated by comma, and put the where condition, where instructor name equals to each instructor name. And because the instructor name is the same in those 2 tables, we have to add a table name with a dot, which is to further qualify the attribute instructor name, right? If you still remember what we taught in shorthand representation, this is exactly what we taught at that time. If the attribute names are similar, how do you distinguish between them? You add the relations name with a dot in front, which is called qualifying names. So this is how you do this selection, this join. You will select from 2 tables and with a where clause instructing us what's the right table, what's the joining condition, which value are you looking at in from one table to another. And we just mentioned how to qualify a column when the column names are identical in 2 tables. We add a table name to it. Now, if you want to qualify a table, you can use what we call an alias, because writing instructors, now we only have 2 tables, right? So it's easier. But it's very normal in real world that you have 10 or 20 tables joining with each other. And in addition to this, between these the 20 tables, there might be like 20 or 19 join conditions that were clause, right? You will have one table's attribute name equals to another table's attribute name, so on and so forth. And then you may have another 20 filtering condition, like a date from another table, from one table, or some kind of course name from another table. If you need to write the table name in all these conditions, it will be too painful. So you can add a short name as an alias, as the table alias, and use this alias instead of the full name of the table. So here you can call instructor I. As you can see, instructor I. That means I'm giving the table instructor an alias called I, and giving the table course an alias of C. So when I try to qualify in either select clause or in where clause, I can put I dot instructor name. That's the same as putting instructor dot instructor name, or C dot instructor name, which is the same as course dot instructor name. So you can add an alias for tables in the select statement. You can add and the standard SQL syntax is from table as alias. And the keyword, of course, is optional. Now here I call it as a Jedi instructors. This is a really long, right? Usually you will choose a simple and shorter alias name. You can choose that, and some people have their own naming convention. When you right now in this course, we don't have any special restrictions on the alias name. But when you start working, usually your company may have some rules on how you should name an alias. Some company want to call it A, B, C, D, or some company will want to use some acronym for a table. Like instructor will be I, or IST, or course will be C or CR, something like that.